afternoon to both of you. Thanks a lot for giving us time to present Alfresco. I'll walk you through the slide deck first, which explains about the feature and functions of Alfresco, followed by a live demo. I am just getting my virtual machine ready. If everything goes well, I can walk you through the demo as well. Feel free to ask questions. Feel free to interrupt me and ask questions on whenever you wish to. And Steve, as I understand that you have had a prior experience working with Alfresco, right?
Correct. But that was quite an older version, and we only used that as a document management system.
Right. So if you want to ask the differences in some of the feature and function, I'll be glad to help you with that. I guess you might have used Alfresco 3 at that time in 2009. And now we have Alfresco 5 as the latest release. So I'll be happy to tell you the differences or the improvements which have been made since 2009 till now. All right?
Yes, great.
Okay. So this is the agenda pretty much we have for today. I have only 3 slides to talk about our company, on who we are, what we do. Then I have few slides on Alfresco capabilities, various features and functions. And then I have separated a couple of slides to talk about integration, security, and scalability, and also the backup and restore. Is there anything else that you want me to explain about other than this agenda?
No, this is good. This is good.
All right. So let's move on. Who we are. Crest Business Solutions is an IT solutions and services company. We are based out of Singapore and Malaysia. We primarily, deal with the software solutions, and we are partnered with few companies. As you can see on your slide in the bottom, we are a Microsoft partner, so we do implement Microsoft SharePoint, Microsoft Dynamics CRM, and also do a couple of .NET application development. We are an Oracle partner, so we do database consulting. We don't do everything in Oracle. We are very much limited to database consulting, be it Oracle database or be it MySQL database. So we do performance tuning, clustering, reports, BI, so on and so forth. Then we are also partnered with Alfresco, which is what we are talking about, an open source content management suite. We also, are partnered with a couple of BI companies. One is called Tableau, which is a commercial BI reporting and dashboarding solution, and then an open source BI and reporting solution called JasperSoft. So these are some of the companies that we currently are partnered with. We carry their product, we resell, and also implement their products. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So what we do, as I said, in our kitty, in our basket, we have certain software products by these companies. So being a Microsoft partner, we resell and implement CRM, Microsoft CRM, NAV, AX, ERP. We also implement business intelligence and analytics software based on Tableau or JasperSoft. We also implement Microsoft SharePoint portal. We also have an open source portal solution called LifeRay. So those companies who want to go for a .NET based, Microsoft based suite, we implement Microsoft SharePoint for portal. Those who want to go for a Java based portal, preferably open source, then we propose LifeRay. And based on Microsoft or LifeRay, we also implement e-commerce solutions apart from intranet or internet. Coming to document management, we have 2 different products that we carry with us. There's one called EMC Documentum. I hope you are familiar with that. It's an enterprise scale commercial product by EMC, the storage company. And then for the...
Yes, that's what we have right now.
Say that again?
We have that product. We're using that product right now.
Oh, you are currently using EMC Documentum?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but the old version.
Which version are you using? 5, is it? Is it 5.2 or 5?
I'm not really sure, but it's the one that doesn't have the workflow yet, or yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's just the simple
laptop. Yeah. Laptop. Right. Okay, got it. Then, of course, it's a bit of expensive solution. So there are companies who don't really want to go for that sort of Ferrari or Porsche, so they want to go for maybe something more flexible in terms of pricing and total cost of ownership. So we propose Alfresco. I'll walk you through the history of Alfresco and what it is in some of the next slides. So apart from the products, we also have some IT services. So we implement custom softwares based on Java J2E, .NET, also mobile apps. We provide application maintenance and support services both on annual basis and ad hoc basis, and also provide software testing services. So that's a complete portfolio that we have. That's the offerings that we carry with us. All right. Some of the customers that we have worked with. I have the list of Malaysia and Singapore customers, but we have also worked for customers in the Philippines, as I mentioned in the email, that we implemented Documentum content management solution for PBCom Bank in Philippines, and during my previous stint, we also implemented EMC Documentum for BPI in Philippines. So I used to travel quite often. I used to travel to Manila for these two customers, PBCom and the BPI. Since we are now reselling and implementing Alfresco, so we have some of the customers on your screen. Time is a fiber company in Malaysia. Timwi is another telco software company in Malaysia. Mode Mobile is a media company in Malaysia, which is currently using Alfresco. We recently implemented about 6 months back. They have a lot of digital contents to store. About 1,000 concurrent user is the sizing that we did for them. Maps Globe is a retail company. We did e-commerce solution for them. P1 on the middle of your screen on the left hand side is another telco. We implemented CRM and SharePoint. Carlist is an e-commerce company. Huayang is a real estate company. Brother is our recent client, which is a Japanese scanner company. And we are currently implementing Alfresco for them. So their regional marketing team wants to use Alfresco as a digital asset management solution based in Singapore. Perisai is petroleum company. We are also implementing Alfresco for them in Malaysia and Singapore. Bumi Amada is oil and gas company based in Malaysia. They are using EMC Documentum. They did not go for Alfresco because they wanted an enterprise scale, want to pay more, so fine. Bright Star is a distribution company. We implemented BI for them. DSM is healthcare company, Swiss healthcare company. We implemented EMC Documentum for them. So that's our partial list of customers where we did the content management implementations in recent past. Any questions so far?
No, we're good.
All right. So moving ahead, let me move on to Alfresco. So basically, there are three building blocks of Alfresco, as you can see on your screen: process, manage, and archive. So when we talk about process, we are talking about getting the document into the ECM repository, processing them through a workflow, right? So that's the workflow piece we're talking about. Manage is talking about storing the documents, delivering it to multiple applications, and finally we're talking about archival, basically for the retention and compliance purpose. So these are the three building blocks of Alfresco. So as I'm sure you're already aware that Alfresco is basically an enterprise open source solution. So when we say open source enterprise content, basically there are two different editions like any other open source solution that Alfresco has. So there's one is community, which is without support but has got all the features and functions. And then there is an enterprise edition of Alfresco, which is called Alfresco 1, which is basically supported around the clock by Alfresco itself. All right, and the licensing and pricing for Alfresco Enterprise Edition works pretty much on a subscription model, just like the cloud softwares. You can install it on premise, you can also have it in cloud, and you can also do a hybrid ECM where you install it in premise and you also leverage on Alfresco cloud for your backup or synchronization purpose. It can support all types of documents, photographs, drawing, audio, video files, PNG, TIFF, PDF, all sort of formats it can support. Any questions?
Okay, yeah, Prasad, yeah. So you said that it will be supported by Alfresco itself. So that means when we get the license from you as a distributor, it is Alfresco who will be supporting us. Is that correct, or?
That is correct. That is correct. But usually, what happens is that the support is always routed through us, because we will be the point of contact for you. So if you want, you can route your support request through us, or if you want, you can always go
Okay.
to Alfresco customer portal, log your support request there, and get support directly.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we can help you license, or you can deal directly for support, your choice. All right.
Okay. Good.
But just to give an example, that since if let's say we are going ahead with the projects, we will be the one who will be customizing and deploying it. So it actually makes sense that we are involved in the support. So we can actually talk about the customization that we have done, and we can expedite the entire support process because Alfresco will also
Okay.
to us.
Speaking of yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Speaking of customization, when I was working with the older version of Alfresco, the number one problem that I had was customization, meaning changing the look and feel, because each the bath has its own how do you call it, branding, or some design rules that we need to follow. How how is theming right now in
Okay.
Alfresco 7?
So the major difference between Alfresco 3 of what you used in 2009 and now is that now Alfresco has a UI framework called AQ, AKIEU, I guess, if my spelling is correct. So they have this UI framework which they introduced in Alfresco 5, which is very much flexible for you to control your UI. In fact, there are organizations in Australia who have actually gone ahead and developed their website, the web content management, on the top of Alfresco. So if you can actually have your website running on Alfresco, you can think that you can actually play around with the UI the way you want, because website means you're going to have complete flexibility of what you want to show where, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this AQ framework
Okay.
is really helpful in controlling your UI, which is introduced from Alfresco 5 onwards. All right.
All right.
So just a bit of history. Alfresco was started in 2005, and at the moment it's headquartered in London and US. It's being used in 180 countries by 1,700 customers. 1,700 customers, those who use enterprise. How many thousands are using the community edition? Alfresco doesn't know, right? The history of Alfresco is quite interesting. As you can see, this guy John Newton, who is the CTO and chairman of Alfresco, he was the guy who actually co-founded EMC Documentum Suite in 1990, 25 years back. In 2005, he actually sold Documentum to EMC and started building another Documentum and called it Alfresco.
Okay.
So that's the interesting part. So when we actually go on implementing Alfresco, it's actually quite easy for us to understand everything, because being a technical guy, you can understand that there are a lot of terminologies that they have used inside Alfresco are pretty similar to Documentum, because it's the same guy who
Okay.
designed Documentum then, and it's the same guy who designed Alfresco now, 10 years back. So that's the history. And of course, Alfresco has already replaced quite a few Documentum customers in Europe. So there are customers who are moving away from EMC Documentum, or even moving away from OpenText because of course, cost regions, and moving on to Alfresco now. And this guy, of course, plays a major role in doing that because he's the one to develop both the products. Yeah. Some of the customers that Alfresco currently has, some of the big names, as we can see, Aker Solution, which is an oil and gas company, Amagus, a big technology company, Amnesty International, BT, British Telecom, DAB Bank, which is, of course, in your domain, the pension group in the finance domain. You can also see Harvard Business Publishing for digital content management, uh, Meteor Finance, you can see Miller, the construction company, KLM, the airlines, Kaplan Financials, NASA, Merck, which is a pharma company. So quite a lot of big names, UK Power Networks, as you can see. These are some of the bigger companies who have either acquired Alfresco afresh or have moved away from Documentum or OpenText to Alfresco. So that's the partial list. If you go to Alfresco site under the customer section, you can actually show a much bigger list of customers.
Okay.
Yeah. Allianz is using it in Australia. They have recently acquired it as well. I don't have their logo yet, but Allianz in Australia is also using it in insurance domain. Okay, talk about the comparison. This is the quadrant, the Gartner Magic Quadrant that you have in front of you. This is September 24-14, so the latest one, where Gartner rates the various ECM products. So you have the leaders block, which is on the top. You have the visionary. You have the niche players on the bottom, challengers on the top. So how you basically understand this metrics is that you have the horizontal scale, which talks about completeness of vision, which is the product maturity, feature and functions. And then we talk about the vertical scale, which talks about the ability to execute. That means how big a company is, how much they invest in R&D, support, and so on. So if you look at the horizontal scale, which is the completeness of vision or the product roadmap, right? We have Alfresco out here, which is very much in the visionary block, and then it's basically still a bit behind from EMC Documentum, OpenText, or IBM FileNet. But if you look at, it's far ahead of Microsoft in terms of SharePoint or Oracle content management solution. Right? So in terms of completeness of vision or the product maturity, Gartner rates them as good as EMC or OpenText and much better than Microsoft SharePoint or even Oracle Content Management. In terms of ability to execute, well, Alfresco is not there yet because they are an open source company. They are much smaller than EMC or IBM or Microsoft or Oracle, right? So ability to execute, of course, is lower than them because they are not a large company, but product maturity is as good as EMC Documentum, OpenText, or even better than Oracle or Microsoft. That's what Gartner says. And for the last 5 years, Alfresco has been consistently making progress in this content management metrics. Any questions so far?
Sorry, I was in mute. Yeah, we're good.
All right. So I'll move on to the next slide. I have some screenshots to share with you. I believe it looks different than what you might have seen before, right? So what I have in front of you is it's basically the UI, the latest UI of Alfresco 5. What Alfresco provides you is the drag and drop file upload. You can drag and drop single file or you can drag and drop multiple files at once. It supports all browsers, it supports IE, it supports Chrome, it supports Safari, it supports Firefox. And then it has its metadata structure. So when you upload a file, the pop-up automatically comes up. You can select your document type, and the fields on the right-hand side on the metadata form basically are dynamically generated based on the document type that you select. So this is one of the major improvement from Alfresco 3 to Alfresco 5.
Okay.
Right? And this metadata scheme can actually be tagged to a particular document library. So let's say if you have a credit department and you have the folder structure or taxonomy for the credit department, credit card department, then they will be only able to see their own document types and not the document types of maybe loan department. When the loan department goes to Alfresco and tries to upload a file, they will only be able to see the document types related to the loan department. So it avoids the confusion of which document I should classify as, right?
Okay.
Provides you the access control. So pretty much Alfresco uses the same terminology as Documentum uses. They also call it ACL, access control list, and pretty much the same schema, the same architecture for security. It also provides you a built-in search engine. So another similarity between Alfresco and Documentum, that both of them use the same Lucene search engine. Documentum is also using Lucene, Lucene, and Alfresco is also using Lucene search engine. And on the top, Alfresco has a wrapper called Apache Solar on the top of Lucene, and Documentum has a wrapper called Explore, Xplore. on the top of same Lucent search engine, right?
Okay.
Content management, major or minor versioning, like any other content management it provides. One of the major thing I go back on the top provides you the CMIS interface, which is called Content Management Interoperability Services, which is also the new thing in Alfresco 5. So what this library does, the CMIS library does, is that actually it exposes all the integration points of Alfresco like and makes it easy for you to integrate Alfresco with a third-party application, maybe your core banking, your loan application, your credit evaluation system, and so on. So this is an inbuilt library which allows you to do a handshake with Alfresco repository to import document, to ingest a document, to ingest a document as an original document, or to ingest a document even as a version. It allows you to even retrieve documents from a third-party application through this library. So this is nothing but a wrapper of library on the top of REST APIs. If you go on writing your own RESTful web services, it takes a lot of time. So this library exposes all the REST services, RESTful APIs of Alfresco for easy consumption. So you can ingest the document, you can retrieve the document, you can ingest as an original document, as a version. You can also do search from a third-party application inside Alfresco. So it makes it a very much open system for you to integrate with any application which supports SOA architecture.
Okay.
All right. Moving on to next slide. So we talk about document management. Now we talk about maybe another layer on the top of document management, and we talk about records, right? So this is for the document retention and compliance purpose. And I guess this is also new in Alfresco 5. I'm not sure how mature it was in Alfresco 3 in 2009. But now the records management system of Alfresco is DoD certified, Department of Defense, Pentagon, USA, certified by them for records management. So you can do the document classification, you can build your file plan, you can do the freeze, holding, you can create a disposition schedule, and you can also do archival export and retention for a particular period, because the banking industry is definitely governed by a lot of compliances. Specifically, I think in 2010 or 2011 there was a new compliance came up for the checks. You got to retain your checks, maybe I think for about a period of 7 years, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So those sort of compliances is what you can do within the same system. So there can be a document library for the records. There can be a document library for working documents within the pretty much the same system, right?
Okay.
Moving on to the support of various type of files. So as I said, it can be PDF, can be PNG, TIFF file, JPEG. It can as well be drawings. It can as well be MPEG, MP4 file, audio files. Again, I would like to highlight that this is a major change from Alfresco 3 to 5. In Alfresco 3, there was an inbuilt file viewer which was actually running Shockwave Flash. It was a Flash plugin which used to generate previews of the files inside Alfresco. In Alfresco 5, it has been replaced and with an HTML5 viewer. So no more Flash, because Flash used to crash, Flash used to have a lot of security issues per se. But the Alfresco 5 is now moving ahead with the latest technology, and they have an inbuilt HTML5 viewer to generate previews of almost any sort of files. So you don't have to literally download the file. So this is one of the security aspect which Alfresco manages quite well, that if you have to give access to a person to only view the file, then the person can only view the file online within the browser. No print permission, no edit permission, no delete permission. Normally what happens is that people will have to download the file to view it. But the risk is that once you download the file, you can print it, you can forward it to everyone. Alfresco manages it quite well. If you only have view rights, you can only view it in browser. You can't download, you can't edit, can't print. All right. So that's the HTML.
Okay. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay, then there's one more new feature or function which actually allows you to use Alfresco even as a Dropbox. So you can make a Dropbox server, your own Dropbox server using Alfresco. That's for collaboration in case there are certain documents you want to share with your agents, your partners. Then there are certain folders which can be made public for a temporary period, and the access expires automatically as per rules. So if you give the permission maybe for 2 hours, the link expires within 2 hours and the person can download the file. So if you want to use it like a Dropbox, you can do that as well.
Okay, this is new.
Yes.
I not heard about this feature.
Right. This is pretty new. Right. Coming on to the BPM functionality, right? So in 2009, what Alfresco had was JBPM. I hope you remember that.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Yes. So what happened that Red Hat itself was not so comfortable with the JVPM, and JVPM was discontinued for a couple of years, and they had to do a major revamp of JVPM. During that period, the core JVPM team left Red Hat and actually joined hands with Alfresco. So they picked up the old JVPM code and they rewrite everything, and they came up with their own BPM engine called Activity, ACTIVITI, right?
Yes.
This BPM engine
Yes.
is now BPMN 2.0 compliant. The JBPM was not compliant. Red Hat, of course, released the latest version of JBPM later on, but the JBPM still stands far behind Alfresco Activity because the core team of JBPM decided to decided to join hands with Alfresco and actually make another on the same code base of JBPM. They happen to revamp it a lot, and now the Alfresco Activity BPM engine is actually BPMN 2.0 compliant, which is the international standard for any BPM software, business process modeling and notation. So it has a drag and drop builder just like Visio. So you also have an option to use your own Visio and then import a Visio diagram into the process modeler, or you can use Alfresco's process modeler to actually design your own processes, as you can see on the right hand side on your screen. And you can also do versioning on your process. So as long as the business keeps improving, you need to change the processes. You can always do a hot deployment of the process and without even bringing down the system and change your processes. So it allows you to do the hot deployment of the new versions of the process and pretty much drag and drop by the business users. It also has an online process management tool, so you can monitor all your instances of which process is running how many instances, which process is stuck, where you want to pause a particular instance or restart a particular workflow. So it gives you the online administrator of your workflow system, which is again built within Alfresco.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Actually, I'm a bit familiar with Activity. We're using it as I used to use it as a BPM engine.
Okay, great. Coming on to collaboration features, so pretty much like Wikipedia, blog, all those sort of discussion forums is what Alfresco provides. There are three types of searches available. So you can see the screen on the left bottom. So what Alfresco does, that's again a major revamp in Alfresco 5. That using the Apache Solar and the Lucian engine, what Alfresco does is that it keeps all the indexes in the cache and it provides you the result the moment you start typing. So pretty much like a Google-like search, start typing it, it crawls all the indexes and gives you a result with the preview within a single window. And of course, you can have your advanced search based on the various metadata, and you can also do full text indexing search on the text readable PDF or the Microsoft Office documents. So three types of searches. You can do a live search, see the results as you type. You can go for advanced search form, or you can do a full text indexing. All right.
All right. All right.
Yeah. Moving on to mobile, which is what even the BPI was asking at some point in time from us in Documentum, but it wasn't ready at that time. What Alfresco has is free to use mobile apps. So pretty much the Android app and also the iOS app. And the good thing about this app is that you can also have your MDM. You can also use your RSA authentication or any other kind of mobile apps encryption and control mechanism to actually control access of the content, Alfresco content on the mobile devices. So you can integrate your MDM solution with the Alfresco mobile for iOS and also for Android. All right.
Okay.
You can also do workflow approvals, not only files. You can also do workflow approvals notifications on your mobile app. Moving on to analytics. So Alfresco has a built-in module for doing the analytics. So analytics are applicable for both. They are applicable for content and they are also applicable for processes. That means it can also do analytics for your activity processes, activity engine, and can give you the graphical dashboard reports. You can also export reports in XLS or even PDF, or even directly you can print out. So within the Alfresco interface, you have the reporting module, which uses a Pentaho analytics engine. Just to share with you. All right.
All right.
Okay. Talking about integration, there is a SAP certified connector, which is built by one of the partner of Alfresco from Europe. So the connector is very much certified by Alfresco and also being certified by SAP, which allows you to archive your documents seamlessly from SAP to Alfresco and even retrieve your content from the SAP UI directly. And the connector is pretty much plug and play. It's a matter of one day to set up it all. That's it. It doesn't really take any customization. It doesn't really take any effort. Very much plug and play and certified by both SAP and Alfresco. And it can save a lot of cost that way. Just to check with you, do you use SAP or which ERP do you use in Metrobank?
I'm not really sure. I think we're using SAP. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure.
Then this can be pretty handy for you because this can actually help you save a lot of cost, and it can also make your SAP much faster. So these are the two reasons is why companies use companies archive their contents of SAP into a content management system, and of course you can have your single repository of all the content. So all the SAP invoices, purchase order agreements, everything can be archived inside the Alfresco repository, right? Also has an integration with Salesforce, which is also certified by Salesforce itself. The app is available in App Exchange of Salesforce. So if you are using Salesforce Cloud, of course, Salesforce charges you by the storage space in the cloud. By integrating Salesforce Cloud with on-premise Alfresco, you can actually save a lot of cost, and again, you can create a single repository of all the contents on-premise. All right.
All right.
It can integrate with any LDAP, Linux-based, Unix-based, or even Microsoft Active Directory. You can do an NTLM or even Kerberos-based integration for the authentication. It can run on HTTPS, your secure socket layer. And let's talk about performance. So this is a bit old metrics I have. So what this explains is that we have two servers for content. We have two servers for search or the index server where we install Apache Solar or Lucene, and that's where we install Alfresco, two servers, one load balancer, storage. What we have is 500 concurrent users, about 50,000 users in the repository, 500 concurrent, 10 million documents. We are talking about the response time of 1.2 second, 1228 millisecond, which is 1.2 second Just with 4 servers, we can manage 500 concurrent users and 50,000 users in repository, 1 terabyte sort of content, 10 million nodes we are talking about. So in terms of resource hungry, Alfresco is far, far cheaper or requires much less resources compared to Documentum.
Okay, agree. Yes.
Okay, backup and restore, of course, there is a pretty much defined methodology. You need to just back up your content store, your indexes, and the database. I think that's all I have for the presentation. We can jump on to the demo. Any questions before we go to the demo?
Well, so you're saying you can actually deploy the different components into different VMs or different servers. Like if I want Lucene to be in one server, I can do that, right? Because I don't think before this was even possible. You can only vertically cluster them and not separate each other like some sort of an OSGI type of setup.
Right. So you can run it in VM, you can run it in Hyper-V, and you can actually deploy
Mm-hmm.
Alfresco content server and the index together, right? So it's a pretty much modular
Mm-hmm.
architecture. If you want to scale in
Okay.
the future, you can always take out the Solar piece out of the content server and
Mm-hmm.
you can install it separately and point it to
Mm-hmm.
Solar. So it comes
Okay.
all in one
Interesting.
box, but it also allows you to basically separate it out and do a modular architecture.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's pretty much the same way even the Documentum works, let me tell you. Documentum also works the same way. You install content server, you install Lucene into it, and if you want, you can actually have a separate Lucene or Explore search server to basically separate it out. You can also separate your reporting module if you want. So I think both work in a
Okay.
very, very similar fashion.
Okay. Okay.
And pretty much horizontally scalable. You can add more boxes as you go along.
Okay.